Hello and welcome to Look at SKODA. I hope you're all keeping safe and enjoying this glorious weather we're receiving at the moment. Now, it probably comes as no surprise to you that the talk of the Look at SKODA showrooms over the last few weeks, of course, has been around the highly anticipated, all-new, brand-new SKODA enyaq, and of course with very good reason too. So with the official launch date drawing ever closer, and only just being over a week away now, I'm sure you're all as excited as we are to see and experience this stunning all-new SKODA model. So if someone were to offer you a sneak preview of the stunning new SKODA enyaq, someone such as myself for example, I'm sure you wouldn't turn down that opportunity, right? Well, I'm sorry to say that until ours arrives, I can't show you the all-new SKODA enyaq until then. Well, of course, I'm kidding. You've probably figured out by now that put two and two together that me on video talking about the all-new model shortly due to be launched and a suspect car looking car, undercover in the showroom can only mean one thing, of course. Go on then, let's take a look at the stunning new SKODA enyaq, shall we? And there we have it. Doesn't that look absolutely fantastic? So come on, let's take a close look around it, shall we? So, starting off at the front of the vehicle here, just to point out a few of the key features at the front end of the all-new enyaq. You have the unmistakable sculpted bonnet there, specifically designed for this car. Keeping in line with the rest of the range, you have the synonymous SKODA grille at the front just here as well. Another fantastic feature that is standard with the vehicle is you also have LED lighting with options to take that lighting up to full matrix LED for main beam assist and high beam control at the same time. The car continues with Skoda's standard safety features, which they're renowned for, such as the front assist, which is located in the centre of the front grille. This will detect any potential risks or hazards in front of you, and initiating braking also if needs be. On top of that, you can choose optional extras such as front parking sensors and a park assist package as well, such as automatic park assist on their rear camera at the same time, and even up to 360-degree cameras on the vehicle now. So let's move around. So you can come into the showrooms, of course, and we do have a configurator corner, which you can see just behind me over my right shoulder here. So you can check the best vehicle for you in terms of usage, range, colours, of course, probably one of the most important things for a lot of people. In a moment, we're going to take a look inside the vehicle and have a look at what it's got to offer. And welcome then to the interior of the stunning all-new SKODA enyaq, of course. So as you can see, sat here in this very comfortable new interior, fantastic seats, lovely layout, and of course, depending on which trim level you choose, different trim levels inside the vehicle. So you do have 5 trim levels in the SKODA enyaq, starting with the loft, which is this one in particular. You then go up to the lodge. Following that, you then have the lounge, the suite, and eco suite, which will then vary and depend upon which trim you go for as to what the pattern and the material on the dashboard and the seats and the layout would look like, of course, and the colours at the same time. So should we have a bit of a closer look at some of my favourite features on the interior of the vehicle then? So here we are, giving you a closer look at a driver's point of view of the new cockpit and dashboard of the SKODA enyaq. So starting off with a fantastic sized, just over 13-inch full vibrant colour touchscreen display in the centre, you can see there. Onto the steering wheel and the main driver display here, you have the simplified virtual cockpit, makes referencing that for a very quick readout of your speed very easy, displaying the most important information you would need on the vehicle, such as range left on the battery, any assistance systems that are currently active, and any, for example, speed warnings, as you can see on the screen there. You do, with that in mind, have the option of taking out the virtual cockpit and then also the heads-up display, which would display onto the windscreen in front of you, of course. Now, another fantastic feature, and that's brand new with the enyaq, is what we call the augmented reality driver assist and prompts for things like sat-nav, say. And what this simply means is you would have a series of arrows for, say, for example, turning left, that would start off further in the distance on the screen, drawing closer towards you as you get closer to your turning, and then going through them, so to speak, as you make that turn. So it's a lot easier to follow and harder to miss your turns in there and find your route a lot easier, of course. Moving on from that, there are some fantastic options on this vehicle that you can choose from, such as starting with one of my favourites here is, of course, the heated steering wheel button just there that you can see. Combined with that, you can take out, of course, the heated seats, so driver and passenger side in the front of the car, as well as those adaptive cruise control at the bottom just here. So if you're doing a long motorway drive, you can set your adaptive cruise control at a certain distance and speed, safely keeping you the same distance and also matching the speed of any vehicles slowing down in front of you, making it a much more relaxed drive so you're not constantly speeding up and slowing down on the brake, of course. On top of that, other fantastic features, you've got ample cup holder storage space just there, very important for those early morning cups of tea or coffee or refreshing drinks. And a very important one to note is the brand new gear select shifter just here. Very clever piece of technology and equipment this, because it's now what we call select by wire or drive by wire, where it's an electronic signal that will tell the vehicle to engage reverse, neutral, drive, or regenerative braking mode, which is the B on the gear select. One of my favourite bits about this simply is that it's so simple and so small. There is no need anymore for there to be such a large or cumbersome gear selector, for example, when it's all done electronically now. Of course, on top of that, you've still got the electronic handbrake, the auto hold now being integrated into the infotainment system. Once that's set once, it's on permanently then. Another favourite of mine is simply having a wireless charging pad for your phone. So two things with that is, number one, it charges the phone whilst it's plugged in, whilst it's sat resting there, I should say, sorry. Now on top of that, I like the fact that it's out the way, it's out your line of sight, and it's angled away from you, so there's no temptation to take a call, which you shouldn't be with Bluetooth, of course, but at the same time to check any text messages or just to mess with it in traffic even, of course. So it's a lot safer from that point of view. On top of that, you've got some fantastic storage space around this centre section as well, such as this bit just here on the left hand side. So you've got them utilising every little bit of space that they can that isn't needed for anything else. Now from the angle there, you can't make out, but underneath this centre section, the tunnel, there's a lot more space underneath, just down at the bottom here, so you can put things under there, such as you know, bits of paper, you know, bits and pieces you might need, such as charging cables if you do want to use one, for example, anything you might need for your drive, but it's out the way, again, nice and convenient. So there we have it. Let's take one last walk around the vehicle together, shall we? Just one last glimpse of it before it gets covered up again, ready for the official launch, of course. So remembering those fantastic LED lights at the front, that synonymous SKODA grille as you see through the range now, symbolic bonnet, unmistakable that you'd be behind the lovely new enyaq, of course, if you see that in your rear view mirror. Some fantastic styling designs, such as the integrated vent section here on the wing at the top. Picks out a nice little bit of detail on the side of the vehicle. Optional alloy wheels up to a size of 21 inch. These specific ones being an optional 20 inch wheel. And of course, not forgetting about boot space. But before that, let's take a look at this stunning back of the vehicle, of course. So fantastic rear lights, deeply sculpted. Another point to note into the side of the rear wing of the car, picking out even more detail. Really nice presence from the rear, and again integrating the fantastic SKODA crystal lighting design. And a fantastic amount of space in the boot as well, of course. SKODA are renowned for in their models, pretty much in every class, almost a class leader with every boot in all of their cars. At the same time, you have the load cover, of course, nice and easy to use. Simple press and moves away. 12-volt power socket in the boot, and you've got handy little storage spaces and sections at the sides, and of course the fold down baggage hooks, 2 on each side. And again, another option being the power tailgate. Nice and simple, push button close, very convenient. Your charging point as well to note, being located typically, even like on one of our petrol or diesel conventional engine vehicles, on the rear right hand driver's side of the vehicle, so you don't have to remember to plug the car in at a different point. As force of habit would take you to anyway, you go to the rear wing and plug it in nice and easily. Another piece to point out to you is every look of SKODA showroom well equipped with the enyaq IV stand just here for electric vehicles. What this allows you to do is view things such as using our range calculator to see what battery would suit you best, be that the 60 or the 80 kilowatt, for example. And also at the same time, what potential fuel savings you might make by switching to either an IV or a full electric new vehicle, of course. So there we have it, folks. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. So what are you waiting for? Get on the phone, speak to your local SKODA dealership, get booked in, and come and have a look at it.